Can we give my man a little thank you? You know, shout out to the homie Kevin Colbert right here, man. Because to me, man, I think he did what he's supposed to do. I think he went out with a bang. Between the free agent signings, I thought as a whole with this draft, man, he definitely hit it. And when you just think about the classes that he's had, the players that he's brought in, the different talent that he's had, to me, man, I'm just like, yo, I'm glad like that he was here. I'm glad that I got a chance to be a part of him, man, and just experience him. But no, this is one of them things. This is one of them drafts for him, man. I was definitely proud of him, man.
It's probably one of those things as Steeler fans we take for granted, having a great GM basically my whole lifetime as a Steelers fan, because you've teams going through GMs every 2 to 3 years. Yeah. And what does that mean? Change of direction.
No, seriously, man.
Flipping quarterbacks all around.
And I could tell you, I've experienced that firsthand, bro. That it gets messy in a hurry. It gets dysfunctional in a hurry, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so Kevin Colbert's part of the reason here with the Steelers that we've had so much stability. I know a lot of it comes from the Rooneys and just how they believe, but Kevin Colbert exemplified that too. And he was just good. I mean, that's what counts. Like, if he wasn't good, then we would be talking probably about firing and stuff. No, he was awesome. I mean, you get a Hall of Fame quarterback in Ben, win 2 Super Bowls in your tenure. I'll go over some of these stats right here, actually. This is awesome. This is why we talk about him probably being in the Hall of Fame. In 22 years. Had 1 losing season. That was the 6-10 Maddox season. Made 14 playoff appearances out of 22. Won 10 division titles. Won 2 Super Bowls. True legend. Enjoy retirement.
And I also think about the Hall of Famers that he's had. I think about the All-Pros that he's brought in, the Pro Bowls that he's brought in. Like, this dude's resume is insane when you think about the talent that he's acquired, man. Utmost respect for my man Kevin Colbert, man.
What's the biggest thing that sticks out to you with his picks? I'm thinking receivers.
I mean, yeah, because
Martavis in the 4th, AB 6th.
AB in the 6th. Like, Juju. That's the one for me. I'm like, AB in the 6th.
Manuel Sanders 3rd, Mike Wallace 3rd. Like, it's nothing.
That was all in the same. No, Manny and AB were in the same class. Wallace was the year before.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, and it was all back to back, though.
Was it? Yeah, they were around there. They were around.
It was all like in the same, yeah. So for me, I'm just like, bro, I like, that's his thing. Yeah, that.
Because even Juju in the 2nd.
Bro, that's a
now we got Pickens.
Come on, man.
Deontay in the 3rd.
Martavis was the 4th.
Yeah, Claypool in the 2nd. Even like the only 2 right off the top of my head that doesn't. Limas Sweet and probably Sammy Coates.
Fair enough. But what round was Sammy? Was what, 3rd?
3rd.
Fingers got broke. It was a wrap.
But that success rate's insane.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely, man.
As much as we rip on Claypool or we're mad at Deontay with the drops, to get him in the 3rd round.
No, he's still absolutely, bro.
Is crazy.
Absolutely.
And Claypool in the 2nd round, and he just jumps in. His rookie season gets double-digit touchdowns.
What round was not Martavis? Marcus Wheaton. What round was he?
He was 3rd.
3rd rounder. I said, okay. I liked it though, man.
Yeah, I mean, Wheaton had what, a 700-yard year, a 600-yard year. But we drafted him to be Sanders' replacement, and he basically was. I mean, they had pretty much the same stats as Steelers. Sanders went on to have a better career without us, though. He's like one of the few.
Right.
Holmes in the 1st round, Super Bowl MVP.
No, I like it, man. I like it. Shoot, even he brought in Plaque still, right? If I remember correctly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a 1st-round pick. I don't know if he was around for Hines or not, though. I don't know if he came after
Hines. That was
Hines.
the one. I wasn't sure.
But Hines was a 3rd round.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Nah, man. Shout out to
I think that's the one thing that
Kevin
sticks
Colbert,
out,
man.
right, in terms of his draft.
Yeah. Now, without a doubt, man. And like I said, I always love my man Kevin Colbert because he helped me. You know, he changed my life, baby. You know, and he was a man of his word. He was a man of his word. And that's the thing that I always love, man. You know, he doesn't care how you get here, but he's going to find you. And I'm always like, you know what? As we're rolling on our list, I'm like, I'm part of that. I'm in there somewhere. Hey, Kevin, I appreciate you, baby. I appreciate you calling me, you know, seeing and bringing me in, baby. You're breaking off a little bit of that paper that you got. Thank you. And, you know, always being honest too, man. Because that was the other thing. I was joking about the whole Bud thing, but it was also, you know, when you talk about Kevin Colbert, he don't mind being honest with you. Some GMs, they're going to give you the runaround. They're going to hit you with the, oh, no, you're good. No, you got da-da-da-da. Hey, man, it's been times where I might not have agreed with some decisions that were being made. And I presented said grievances with him. And he was very respectful and had no problem communicating that back. And for me, I always appreciated that about Kevin Colbert. Because not all GMs do that. Not all GMs treat their players with the same level of respect that we treat them with. You know, sometimes you get these GMs, it's like, oh, I talk down to you. You're like, nah, bro, I'm a man. you ain't gonna be doing none of that. But with Kevin Colbert, man, like just utmost respect for him, man. Like the talent evaluation, the honesty, man, the consistency as well. You know, and he's just one of those guys that it doesn't matter when you run into him. If you play for this dude, man, he's gonna have the time for you. You know, you can catch him wherever. Anytime I run into Kevin across the city, man, it's always been love. It's always, hey, good conversation, stuff like that. And he's just one of those dudes that you could tell it matters to him and it means a lot, you know, in terms of him putting his reputation on the line when he brings in guys, man. So I always like that about Kevin right there, man.
To piggyback off that, I heard him in one of his recent interviews. I think it was with the Steelers, and Terrell Edmonds was brought up. This was after we signed him. And he basically said that. He was like, we talked with Terrell. We were really open with him on how we viewed him. And if our numbers wasn't matching up with what he thought, we encouraged him to go out on the market, see what it was. Because if we do turn around in a few weeks or a month and neither of us have made a decision on safety yet, maybe it's best for both of us to get together. And that's what happened. But with this process that Colbert laid out there, where he's really honest with the players, at least there's no resentment anymore.
Correct.
Now. It's like he saw what was out in the open market. Now you see that what we got. Maybe it works for you to come back.
And that's the thing that makes it work like that, because of the honesty. When it's not truthful, when they're trying to save face or they don't want it to be uncomfortable because you're in person, that's when, you know, the message can get a little twisted, and then you have guys having grievances or having issues with organizations. Whereas with Kevin, he's like, yo, man, if we making this decision, it's because of this. Now, sometimes that decision was simple as, because I feel like this is the case, even though I know numbers and this says this, I just need this to happen. Sometimes that's the answer. You don't always have to like the answer, but I just like the fact that he respected us enough to give us answers and be truthful about that. And that's just the thing with the Steelers organization. You heard me and TG when we joke about Coach Thomas saying 2 dogs, 1 bone, letting you know these 2 guys are competing for a roster spot. This organization is so transparent. That's why these, like, as a player, you can buy into it and you don't have an issue giving your all, because you know it's a certain level of trust that comes with that because of the honesty. And that's just something that I never took for granted, man. It's something that I think as Steelers fans we should not take for granted as well, man. So shout out to my man Kevin Colbert, man. Absolutely.
Underrated thing about the Kevin Colbert era is the timeline where we were going to Super Bowls. Those teams that he built up in the early 2000s, obviously we won one in 2005, Super Bowl XL, but we did it with multiple coaches. Bill Cowher, and then Mike Tomlin, obviously. We had 3 Super Bowls in the stretch of, we went to 3 Super Bowls because obviously we lost in 2010. 3 Super Bowls in the span of, I think it was 5 years, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 different coaches. Like, that's credit to Colbert on building that type of team that can transcend 2 different coaches.
Well, and you look at, I think it was a stat that showed like his average draft picking position in the first round was like 20-22. I'm like, that's letting you also know that he's putting together solid rosters where talent-wise, we're never in a position where our franchise is abysmal and our squad is abysmal. We picking in the top 5 and stuff like that. We don't do that.
The draft was a little bit less exciting for the Steelers, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's certain players I always, Eric Berry. I would have loved to get Eric Berry. He's going in the 5.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, though. That means the team's doing good.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt.